This week on the No More Late Fees podcast, we are joined by author, podcaster, and our friend Christina Florence. Welcome, Christina.
Thank you.
Well. I'm just warning everybody that this will probably be a very laughy, giggly episode because that's
all we
how
do when we're together.
Yeah, Christina and I roll this way. She's one of my good friends. We met at a horrible job, won't name the place.
You don't want to put the job on Reen?
We won't do that.
We found love in a horrid place. Let's just call it that.
There's a technical term. It's called trauma bonding.
Yes.
Trust me, I know a whole lot about trauma bonding. Okay.
Christina was one of our very early cheerleaders when I was like, hey, I have this idea. I think we want to do a podcast. She actually started a podcast and did it by herself. So I was very like, okay, if Christina could do it by herself, we could definitely do it together. So I did say author. One day, out of nowhere, Christina was like, yeah, my book is published on Amazon. And I was like, what?
I tend to do things on the DL before I let everybody know.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about your book?
Yeah, so the book is called The Wildly Worthy Woman. It's a workbook style journal. It's 21 days. And it's really meant to take women from a place of maybe not knowing themselves, not loving themselves, not fully stepping into their worth, and take you on a 21 journey to being a completely different person by the end of it and owning who you are. And it's very near and dear to me. It's the steps that I personally took on a self-growth journey that I went on after a really tumultuous, you could say, relationship. And so I wanted to put something in a form that women could easily follow. And the book was born.
I'm glad that you were able to take like scorch earth and make beautiful, beautiful garden with it.
Yes.
So we're going to play a little fun game. We're going to rank RomCom studs.
Okay.
So Jackie's going to read off a list of studs, and then you're going to tell us what number in the ranking 1 through 6, 1 being the best, 6 being but this is a hard list, so I don't think any of them are so.
Okay.
So we have Ryan Gosling, Taye Diggs, Richard Gere, Freddie Prinze Jr., Steve Carell, and Morris Chestnut.
I'm going to say Ryan Gosling, number 1. Morris Chestnut, 2. Freddie Prinze Jr., 3. Steve Carell, 4. Taye Diggs is last. Who was the last? Oh, and Richard Gere. We'll go 5.
Not a fan of Taye Diggs?
Damn, son.
Not my style. I'm not gonna lie. He's not my type.
He is a little short, and
I mean, height never bothered me, but
that's true. That is true.
Was it the accent and how Stella got her groove back?
Horrendous.
Yeah, it's the whole, I don't know, the whole thing, just not my thing. The whole package.
Yeah, that's fair.
I watch him on TikTok now. Like he's very funny, but like I don't know. I get it. And Steve Carell, he sneaks up on you.
Yes. Like 40-year-old virgin Steve Carell, never. But crazy stupid love, Steve Carell.
And now he's getting that salt and pepper hair, and
yes, salt and pepper Steve Carell. You get it.
I liked him in 40-Year-Old Virgin. I was happy that like he got a rom-com. Not everyone else in that like weird Judd Apatow era, but him, yes, 100%. Well, you did well. I know you were like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this, but you did fine. No problemo. Yeah. All right. So I have a question for all of us. What is your favorite romantic movie of all time? It's very hard. It doesn't have to be in our time frame either.
And a romantic movie, so not necessarily a rom-com.
It could be rom-com. Anything that you find to be, it's just like a romantic movie for you.
I'm gonna go Eat, Pray, Love.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I always go back to it. I have these like daydreams of leaving the country for a long time
Yeah.
and finding love, in a
I
place where I just never expected.
I think that's actually perfect because I love nothing more than food and myself. And I feel like that movie just gets me, Yes, there's a
Yeah,
man at the end, and I'm like, okay, but she ate her way through Europe and all these other countries, and she loved herself. It was wonderful.
I love it.
Yeah.
Watch it all the time.
Jackie, I'm sure you already know yours.
It's weird because when you asked the question, a totally like out of left field movie was the first one that popped into my head.
Mhm.
So I'm going to say that one because I do love a lot of rom-coms, but this is like it's not a comedy, which is unusual for me.
Mhm.
And that's P.S. I Love You.
Wow. Okay. So you and I have never, I guess, had this conversation. I read that book before it came out. And so when the movie came out, I was so excited because the way that book made me cry all day, every day. The way I wanted to burn the theater to the ground after seeing the movie. Don't meet your heroes, kids. Don't do it. Don't read the book and go see it. It's rare. It's very rare. But that probably is the biggest gap between a movie and a book I've ever experienced. I'm still mad to this day at that.
It just has, I mean, Gerard Butler is Jerry in it.
Yes.
Top notch. And then it has Jeffrey Dean Morgan,
Those
who's like they like written in the same font.
That was the only redeeming part of that encapsulated, like Gerard Butler playing that role was perfect, like to the book. And Jeffrey Dean Morgan even more perfect. Now, my issue is what that lady named Hilary Swank. Baby.
What that lady named.
Romantic movies, it's not your bag. It's not. You gotta leave it alone. I'm
not a fan of her at all.
Yeah,
I don't particularly care for her, but like Jerry is such an endearing character that
yes,
like, I can overlook a whole hell of a lot in that movie.
Yeah,
because it's really about him and making sure she was taken care of after he passed away. And so like she was whatever. But I got Gerard Butler and I got Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
I would highly suggest watch the movie, then go read the book. But the book's version of that character is just better. Like, oh God, it just hurts my soul.
Do you often read the book and then watch? Like, do you do both when you can, or most of the time?
Sometimes it's not on purpose. Like a lot of the books that I've read, like they weren't like I read them before they became books or TV adaptations or whatever. So it just, I was like, damn, my good fucking taste.
I never do that. I never do that.
I felt the same way about the time traveler's wife. And I think they try so hard because they've already made it a movie and they made it a TV show, and both have epically failed. But now that I like think back on it, the book is quite a like, it's grooming essentially, because he meets his future wife when she's like 6. It's weird. But like at the time reading it was really good, and you cry and you're just like devastated, but it's kind of all over the place because he's time traveling. But the movie did not. Even Rachel McAdams couldn't save that crap.
Oh no.
Yeah. It's tragic. For me, my favorite romantic movie of all time. All this time I thought something would have come up in my head, and it hasn't. I very much love the movie Amelie, but like, it's not just like Maybe it's because deep down, maybe I'm a little bit of a stalker and it's got stalker vibes.
Are you really?
I like to
I
stalk
did not
my
know
prey.
this about you.
I like to stalk my prey first and then reel them in, you know. No, it's a French movie, and I think it was like one of the first times that I like really got into a foreign film, and like it didn't even matter. It wasn't in English. It was just so good, and the cinematography was beautiful. It's just a cute story. I'm trying to think of what would be. I think this is probably why I have such a hard time picking my birthday movies. Yeah, I think that is all I can think of right now. Maybe another episode, the right answer will come. I could tell you which ones I hate, but yeah.
I always say it's really hard. Anytime anyone asks me what my favorite movie of all time is, like like I cannot quantify it like that. And so I have like my blanket statement answer
Yeah.
I always give, and it's like if I could watch one movie, only one movie for the rest of my life, it would be Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Like,
yes,
it has a little of everything. Like, it's super entertaining. It's got Harrison Ford, Sean Connery. It's good.
it's so much fun.
It's hard to quantify in categories like what
depends on your mood. It depends on like what genre you're feeling. Like you can't. It's like, what's your favorite song? I mean, it depends on the mood. It depends on what vibe you're going for. You can't answer that.
And like some movies are trash, but those are some of the movies you watch most often because they're a comfort movie to you, but you wouldn't say like cinematically the greatest movie of all time.
Yes.
So it's just really hard to
yeah.
I do also love Splendor in the Grass. I think that was like the first movie I ever saw that didn't have a happy ending, that I was like, I still really dig this movie. It's the original version is in black and white, has Warren Beatty in his whole ass days. You could tell why the bitches were all up in his Rolodex, you know. He was fine. Like, no, I'm not lying. Warren Beatty in his heyday, fuck civil rights. He could get it. But that's him and Natalie Wood. It's so good. The only problem is that I believe the director is Elia Kazan, and he's like a known sex rapist, horrible human being.
Really?
So I'll leave it with that.
Oh, always on a high note.
Okay, so on our show, as you know, because I know you listen,
every episode,
we just like when we were at Blockbuster, we have employee picks, and it's just like the movies we would recommend to, like, we would be able to pick some, and they would put it on the shelf. It's just like our staff recommendations.
Okay.
So we are going to give you the opportunity to pick 3 movies, any movie from the time period of 1995 to 2005, which is our time period for the podcast. If you're not sure what year, we will most likely know and tell you if it fits or not.
Okay. The first movie that popped into my head was Clueless.
Classic. Can't be bad.
Classic. Can't go wrong. Girls' Night In. What could be better? Another one of my favorites, which are like, you know, my go-tos tend to be like the fluffy, just like chick flicks. Oh my God. Oh, wait. I'm so embarrassed to give this next pick. Okay. Holiday in the Sun. Mary-Kate and Ashley.
Hey, there is no
embarrassing.
It's not embarrassing. We love the Olsen twins on this podcast.
You got Megan Fox in that one.
I went to Atlantis after watching that. I like begged my mom to take us on a cruise to the Bahamas. Went to Atlantis, did a tour in Atlantis, was in the front of the tour next to the tour guide. Like, where did they shoot this? Was this the lobby? Oh my goodness. Was this the fish tank? Oh my god. Loved every inch of that, like every minute of that movie. Loved it.
So Jackie, put Christine on the list. When Holiday in the Sun comes around, we know who comes.
The only thing that resonated with that movie for me was it ruined Weezer's Holiday in the Sun.
What? I love that song because of it.
It seemed like they only had the budget for one song and they were going to maximize those rights. And so I like, to this day, it comes on and I'm like, oh, change the station. Like I don't like skip. Like I cannot with that.
Oh my goodness. But it's just that beginning part of the song that I listen to. The rest of it, I'm like, I could do without. But that beginning, like, that's a banger right there. Okay.
I remember when it was on Fox Family, ABC Family, like on rotation, and that song was all the time. And also Aquamarine, that also had that song in there too. Yeah.
And you know what else did, Danielle?
Your Snow movie. Yeah.
And it's Island in the Sun. I said Holiday in the Sun, but it's the name of the song is Island in the Sun.
Well, yeah. All right. What's your third one?
Okay. My third one, again, I'm going like 90s.
Okay.
Good Burger.
All right.
Yeah.
That's a solid choice.
That was like my one summer, like summer movie of choice on repeat. My brother made like the secret sauce out of all the random stuff we had in the fridge. And I mean, yeah.
You know, they're making a second one, right?
I won't be watching it. No. Number one, I didn't know that. And number two, you can't, that is like such a classic. You can't touch that. And are they bringing back Kenan and Kel?
Yeah. Why don't you tell the audience how they can find you on social? Sometimes when I pop up, my Instagram is X_Tina with 2 A's, Lynn with 2 N's, LYNN. And if you would love to engage with us, don't forget to hit us up at No More Late Fees on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube.
And as always, be kind and rewind.